It wasn't the punch that scared him, it was the way she looked at him, calm, steady, like someone deciding whether to show mercy or make an example. Belmont Prep was a palace for privilege. Kids here wore Rolexes before they knew how to drive. And Travis Morgan, he was their Prince Charming, cruel, and untouchable. Until today, because today, the quiet scholarship girl he loved mocking wasn't in the mood. She didn't scream, didn't cry, she just moved, one swift motion like something out of a movie, and the next thing anyone knew, Travis was on the ground, flat on his back, his ego bleeding out onto the marble floor. Phones were out, mouths wide open, no one breathed. She adjusted her backpack, stepped over him, and whispered, "That was your warning." And just like that, the rules at Belmont changed. Naomi Brooks didn't speak unless she had to. She walked the halls of Belmont like a shadow present, but never quite seen, always early, always alone. Most students couldn't even tell you what her voice sounded like. She was the only student at Belmont on a full-ride scholarship. Everyone else had parents with law firms, private jets, and legacies that dated back to colonial America. Naomi had a single mom, 3 jobs, and a killer instinct honed from 7 years of martial arts training no one at Belmont cared to know about. And then there was Travis Morgan, son of a senator, quarterback, 6'2", with the smile of a politician and the soul of a bully. He ruled Belmont not with charm but fear. His jokes weren't funny, but people laughed anyway, because when Travis wanted to humiliate someone, the school made popcorn. He targeted Naomi before snide comments. Fake pity. Those casual digs only rich kids knew how to weaponize. And Naomi, she always walked away. Until that day, because everyone has a line. And Travis Morgan, he just didn't know he'd crossed it. It started like every other Thursday, hallways buzzing, lockers slamming, the usual swarm of designer bags and fake friendships. Naomi had AP Physics in 10 minutes and a midterm she wasn't fully prepped for. She was focused, walking fast, earbuds in. Then she saw him, leaning against the row of trophy case lockers like he owned the air. Travis. He stepped in front of her, casual, like he wasn't blocking the entire hallway. Well, he drawled, his voice slow, mocking. Didn't know they started letting in charity cases through the front doors. Naomi stopped, removed one earbud, looked him straight in the eye. Move. He grinned. Say please. Students were watching now, slowing down. Phones came out not openly, but discreetly, like predators sensing blood. I said, move, He shoved her, not hard, but enough. The kind of shove that said, you're not one of us. Naomi stumbled half a step back, her jaw clenched. She dropped her bag. Wrong choice, she whispered. Before he could blink, she pivoted, caught his wrist, twisted it behind his back, and slammed him down flat onto the tile floor. The sound echoed like a gunshot. His breath whooshed out in one stunned grunt. The hallway froze, then erupted. Oh my God, did you get that, dude? She just wrecked Travis. Naomi grabbed her bag, stepped over him like he was spilled soda, and walked away without looking back. You get one warning, she called over her shoulder. Travis lay on the floor, face burning, ego shattered, surrounded by classmates recording every angle of his humiliation, and deep down, for the first time in his perfectly privileged life, he felt small. By lunchtime, Naomi Brooks was no longer invisible. The video had already made its rounds. In under 2 hours, it hit every student group chat, Instagram story, and TikTok feed. It was edited, slowed down, soundtracked with dramatic bass drops and fight game effects. Caption: Rich kid gets folded by quiet girl. Belmont Prep, drama goes wild. Naomi wasn't even on social media, but her face, her flip, her cold as ice delivery. You Get One warning was everywhere. People she'd never spoken to were suddenly high-fiving her in the hallway. Students who never looked her way before were asking where she trained, what belt she had. Could she teach them? Some teachers pretended not to have seen it. Others, they couldn't hide their smirks. But not everyone was clapping. In the back of the cafeteria, at a table full of silence, Travis Morgan sat stone-faced. No jokes, no charm, just rage simmering beneath the surface. He had spent years building his image. One 5-second takedown had cracked it like cheap glass. And there was only one thing worse than being hated at Belmont Prep, being laughed at. The message came just after lunch. Unknown number 4. 30, gym, no cameras. Let's finish this. Naomi didn't need a name. She knew the handwriting behind that cowardly font. She could have ignored it, could have reported it, but that's not who she was. At 4:29 p.m., Naomi stepped into the gym empty bleachers. Polished floors glowing orange under the sunset. Her footsteps echoed like war drums. The door slammed shut behind her. "I knew you'd come," Travis said, stepping from the shadows. He wasn't alone. 3 figures followed Jake. Marcus and Cole, football bros, loyal, loud, dumb. They formed a line behind him like bodyguards with bruised egos. Naomi tilted her head. 4-on-1. That's brave. This isn't about bravery, Travis sneered. It's about reminding you who runs this place. No, she said, it's about revenge and fear. Travis's smile cracked. You're scared. I'm not. She dropped her backpack. You are. Travis lunged. Wide swing. Pure anger. Naomi slipped it like wind, spinning past and letting him stumble. Jake rushed in. She ducked low. Swept his legs, he crashed like timber. Marcus grabbed for her. Naomi elbowed him in the ribs. Hard. He folded. Cole hesitated. Big mistake. She struck him square in the chest with a kick that lifted him off his feet. 3 down, 1 left. Travis's eyes were wild now. Desperate. He charged again. Flailing. Naomi waited, calm, measured, then moved. A pivot, a grip to his collar, a throw that sent him crashing onto the mat. She stood over him, breathing steady. No one runs this place, she said softly. Not anymore. Travis groaned. His friends writhed around him, defeated, again. This time, no one filmed it, but they would feel it. By morning, everyone at Belmont would know Naomi Brooks wasn't just the quiet girl anymore. She was the line you didn't cross. The next day, Belmont Prep walked quieter. No one said Naomi's name out loud, but everyone thought it. The girl who shattered the prince. Twice. She didn't need to gloat. She didn't post, brag, or threaten. She just moved through the halls like before, quiet, precise, untouchable. But everything had changed. Travis no longer held court. His jokes fell flat. His posse avoided eye contact, and the power he once carried evaporated. Naomi hadn't just defended herself, she'd rewritten the rules. From that day forward, every smirk aimed at a scholarship kid, every snide comment whispered behind someone's back came with hesitation, because now there was a ghost in the hallway, a legend, a warning. And for anyone planning to cross that line again, they remembered what happened the last time someone thought silence meant weakness, and how fast she turned that silence into strength.